Globe and Mail reader Stephanie writes in, I will be moving to the States within the year, and I was told I need to make my 2014 Civic compliant, and it needs a tire pressure monitoring system to do so. Sam also writes in trying to get some information on how he can make his 2011 Mercedes compliant with U.S. standards regarding TPMS. Variations of this question arrive in my inbox many times per year. Let's try and piece this together and figure it out. Let's look at Sam's, because he's actually on the right track here. It says the TPMS system installed on the Canadian vehicles is different from the system installed on the U.S. vehicles. In order for us to figure this out, we need to understand that there are two different types of tire pressure monitoring systems. The two readily available systems are known as direct or indirect. The direct system uses 4 tire pressure monitor sensors, one located per wheel, that transmit the exact pressure of the tire to the dash via radio frequencies. The indirect system uses the existing anti-lock brake sensors to calculate circumference, which sends a general indirect warning to the driver that a tire has become smaller due to underinflation. So if we use Stephanie's vehicle as an example, her Civic has an indirect TPMS system. Her stock tire size is probably a P205 55 R16, which has an overall diameter of 25 inches. Approximately. If I've done my grade school math correctly, that means I have a circumference of 78 inches. Of course, that means that per revolution, this tire is going to travel 78 inches down the road. I'm exaggerating now, and I'm not to scale, but let's say one of Stephanie's tires has deflated and it's now only 24 inches in diameter. That means this tire will only travel 75 inches per revolution. This is where it gets a bit confusing, but stay with me here. Think about it. If the vehicle is traveling down the road at 78 inches per tire revolution and the smaller tire is turning at 75 inches, well, guess what? It's going to have to turn a little bit faster to keep up. The magic of this is that the sensors, the wheel speed sensors, can measure the rotational speed difference between all 4 tires. And a faster spinning tire means it's got a smaller circumference, which means it's deflated. The driver will get this notification on their dashboard, but they won't know where the problem is or even how bad it is. Now let's take a look at direct TPMS. Direct TPMS takes 4 wheels and stuffs 4 sensors in them. These sensors transmit the exact tire pressure to the driver. The driver knows what's going on at all times. When a puncture or a deflation situation happens, well, the computer on board is monitoring the pressure directly and passing this information on to the driver. As soon as it drops below a predetermined value, it turns on the same TPMS light, but the benefit of this system is that the driver knows exactly which tire is the problem and how quickly they need to respond. Now, it's pretty obvious to me that the direct TPMS system is the clear-cut winner. But you're not here for a debate on indirect versus direct TPMS. You want to understand why can't you import your darn vehicle into the USA? Well, starting off with the Canadian regulations, there are none. So manufacturers are free to use whatever system they want. Direct TPMS, indirect, even no TPMS. Looking at the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards item number 138 in the U.S., it states that all vehicles 2008 and newer must have a functioning direct TPMS system. This is the paragraph of doom. This is the one you're having problems with. Taken from the National Highway Traffic Safety Act, this is the importation guidelines regarding TPMS. Basically what it says is you have to install a TPMS system identical to and using the original part numbers from a manufacturer of your vehicle. Not the Canadian manufacturer, the US manufacturer. So in Stephanie's case, her vehicle came with an indirect system in Canada, and the American equivalent came with a direct system. She would have to buy all the sensors and the computer and the gauge cluster. It simply wouldn't be worth it. So what can you do? Well, if you're a gambler, and only if you're a gambler, you can take a shot at this. You can buy an aftermarket direct TPMS kit. Have it installed by a professional shop, get a receipt, and then with confidence, like you know what you're doing, Present to your border crossing guard a receipt, all of your compliance documents, and have this display sitting on top of your dash. You might get lucky. And now, of course, it's time for the small print, the disclaimer. Be perfectly aware this may not work. You may get to the border and have all your documents and everything in order, and you may still get refused. It's a gamble. Otherwise, you're selling your vehicle before you leave. Well, this is the end, and I'm hoping I provided you with a little bit of usable information. I would appreciate a subscribe if you feel so inclined. Thanks, and have a great day.